using the lapels now. Again, you want to incorporate this into the stuff, the Henrican stuff that we did earlier in the mesocycle. So we showed you that hangman choke, and we're going to use the baseball bat choke again, which we did I think last week or the week before. We're going to look at the loose choke or the ninja choke now. So when would I go for this? Anytime Carl's making a frame, you'll probably find at beginner level in jiu-jitsu you'll want to be framing on people, because if not, and I have the cross face underhook, I'm going to be putting a lot of pressure on Carl, on all his vital organs, closing down the air out of his diaphragm. So just probably at a beginner level, he'll probably have his hands like in a boxing hand position scenario. And then when you get better at jiu-jitsu, you realise you shouldn't be doing that, but it's good to learn something at the start. But anyway, Carl is this frame across my throat. So from this position, I'm just going to open up my far lapel, and I can do it with the near side lapel or the far lapel. We'll show you both variations. Usually what I like to do is I'll cross face him first, so Carl's looking this way. My right hand's coming back. Again, I still have to be making connection with my knee to the hip. And now when Carl starts to frame, I'm looking towards his legs, and I feed this lapel from my right hand to my left hand. Okay. Now again, I'm going to start moving my head towards Carl's far hip. But watch what I do with my right hand. It comes to here, because if it stays on this side, as I start to circle clockwise, Carl will walk with me, and then there's no choke. So what I want to do is my right hand comes to the far hip, and from there I start to walk around Carl's head, bring my head to the far hip, and then I tripod up. Now it depends on how snug you have the choke. If I pass this through and there's a lot of slack in it, obviously I'm going to have to go a little bit further. So usually what I like to do is, from here, as Carl's framing, because I don't want to be using a lot of movement to get this. I want to try and get it as quickly as I can. So first thing is, when I cross face him and he's driving this in, I will look towards his legs so he's not on my throat. My right hand's coming out. If I can disguise this, it's a good thing. And then I'll just feed it through that space. I like to really bring it all the way through, and my left hand snags it. There's a lot of tension in the lapel from here. So watch. Right hand comes to this hip. I'm putting a lot of shoulder pressure on Carl, and now I start to walk towards north side. That's using the far side. I can also do the same with the near side. So again, from that position, cross face. Sometimes this is a sneakier one because they don't see this one coming through. So I'm here. Sometimes they can see you leaning back trying to get this. Okay. Whereas I can pull this one through. So all I do is I just pass it over, especially when he's framing. That's a good time to go for it, because then there's space. We'll look at it in the next move if he gets his hand into the junction. So this just comes over and he just doing this. Once I'm there, right hand comes to this side, and I start to turn my hips. Now if there's a lot of slack in the lapel, what I'll have to do is I'll step over his head. My head comes to this side, and if there really is a lot of slack in it, I will try to pull it up. Another thing I can be doing if I'm using the near side sleeve is my right hand can control Carl's wrist, and I'm going to flare my left elbow. So again, one more time, I'll just turn around this way, bro. So if I'm using this near side, the finish is slightly different. Carl's framing. I'm going to use the cross face to make him turn away. My right hand has the near side grip and passes from my right to my left. The right comes to the side, and he's trying to walk around his head. My head comes to that hip. Sometimes I'll pin this wrist to the mat, and then I open my elbow to get it. The other one, which is a lot more, there's a lot more connection with the far one. And again, I'll put pressure on him. Look towards my legs, feed this through. Once I have that, hand comes to the hip. Usually I could just get it from head always comes to this side with my hand, because his defense is to walk with. Okay.